Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Married at First Sight UK Season 7 Episode 23. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. The homestays continue with Matt and Whitney meeting up with her friend, and we learned that Matt has said that he loves Whitney.
He has said he loves me.
What did you say?
I mean, obviously I said that I love him too.
Shut up.
Feelings that I have towards this woman are amplified beyond what I have felt in the past, so how could it not be? And I would rather say it than regret not saying it.
I'm inclined to believe this is not true. Not at all. I think they're very infatuated with each other. They definitely have a strong lust for each other. Love, relax. Relax. It's been what, 7 days? Y'all need to chill. That's number one. Number two, though, this is clearly a more affectionate relationship than either of their previous couplings. So even though it's not love, it's a hell of a lot better than where they're coming from. Keisha's sisters and friend give Kwame the grilling we have been yearning for.
She came to my area and had a sit down with my boys.
Oh, not your house?
I just feel like for an experiment like this, you are a little bit more reserved than I would expect.
In terms of physical attraction, is Keisha usually the type of person you would go for?
I go for someone usually more petite, like Rihanna, Beyonce, that type.
I will never understand people who claim to be private or, this is just too intense for me. They might be timid or whatever, applying for a process that is so fast paced, that is so intense, so confronting, and then being shocked that it is all of those things. Hello? The show is as advertised. It's a fast process. It's an intensive process. Don't now be like, oh, well, I didn't expect it to be this much. This is too much pressure. It's happening too fast. It's Married at First Sight. Ain't nothing faster than that, let me tell you, okay? Then you have this man talking about his preferences again, and he brings up the likes of Rihanna and Beyonce, and baby, let me tell you, they would not look twice at your direction, number one. Oh, Kwame just, he pisses me off. But number two, you know damn well your wife looks nothing like that. And I understand that's what he typically goes for. But at this point, it's irrelevant to bring up because it makes your partner feel insignificant. I don't think Keisha is that person. She seems very self-confident. She doesn't need validation from anybody. But I'm just like, just tell the woman you detest her. Just tell her you detest her. I'd rather you look me in the eye, Kwame, and say, I hate you, than all of these little subliminal things that I'm supposed to put the pieces together. April says that if her dad is not a fan of George, then the relationship is not going to work. Lucky for her for now. Her dad's a fan.
I think they've got a good bond together. Just feel it in my bones, he seems a nice guy, George.
I was almost kind of asking for his blessing slightly, and I felt like I kind of got that from him.
So I'm pleased for you.
Baby, I would love to know her dad's stance today. I would. Because it's not looking good out here in these streets for George. I doubt they are together. Just from the insecurities alone that we've seen George exemplify in this process, I'm like, this is something that would get exhausting very quickly. I doubt they would have made it past the experiment. But if they did, I'm sure these current allegations are not going to make it any better. So the guys and the girls are separated to have a night out, and they're talking about their relationship, where they stand or whatever. Shanita and Jordan are really enamored by each other and can see themselves having a strong future as long as they iron out the little kinks in their relationship, which aren't that many, to be honest. I think they can make it work. Then you have Keisha and Kwame, where, Keisha's feeling very uneasy about where she stands with Kwame, and Kwame feels like the grilling he got from Keisha's sisters was actually a setup.
I ain't gonna lie, guys, I'm upset.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just feel like something's bugging her.
Has it left question marks?
A lot of question marks, a lot of grey areas, but not even question marks.
Okay.
Conclusions.
I really just thought going to her home was gonna be about happiness. Like, it just seemed like there was a lot that was underlying.
The reality is, Every time Keisha tries to have a vulnerable conversation with him, whether it's about herself or about their relationship, he deflects. He shuts down. He all of a sudden doesn't know how to communicate. So, of course, I would kind of feed some lines to people in my family. Maybe they would get an answer from him that I can't get myself. But he fumbled the bag with them too. So it's like, if the people outside looking in don't approve and you within the relationship don't approve, it's a done deal. Cut it. Let it go. And for Kwame, this man just chats foolishness because he really, really believes that he is emotionally available when it comes to Keisha. He believes that he communicates clearly and concisely, and, you know, he allows his walls to come down when it comes. You don't. You don't. We've seen it on camera how much he deflects, how much he projects, and all that stuff. And Keisha, that has been her complaint from day dot. That has not changed. There was a brief moment, it wasn't too much, but Sophie was talking about how her dad does not approve of Jonathan. On the other hand, Jonathan thinks that he got along great with her dad and that he could see a future between them. And I'm just like, yikes. I think it's the controversial opinions that Jonathan has, and also the disparity in class when it comes to the two families. I was side-eyeing Sophie and her family at the wedding, but as it stands right now, Jonathan is not it. Thomas and Adrian talk about how meeting the family puts some things in perspective about the chemistry they have between each other. And of course, once other people start to chime in, Thomas gets defensive.
What I'll say is, you know, they don't see the chemistry and they don't see the spark there.
Probably because your friends are not in a romantic relationship.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know that because you've only been here 2 weeks. Don't come for me.
Wait a minute.
I haven't even had a chance. You've made an opinion on me.
It's true, I think I'm going to make an opinion on
I know
your
it's
husband.
hard, so, but just leave it.
If you say something to me, I'm going to say something about your husband.
All right, Thomas, just look at me, please.
Sophie,
Thomas,
never you.
Come on, Mama Keisha, wrangling in the children, because it's all the tantrums for me from Thomas. It's enough. This man needs a parent, not a partner. And unfortunately, both of his parents are coddling him at his big, big age. Nobody checks this man. Nobody. And it's so unfortunate. I find it very hard to believe that he works with vulnerable men in the mental health sector. I find it very hard to believe. I really do. I think he's projecting because he's frustrated that he's not where he wanted to be with Adrian. And he's realizing, yeah, I understand Adrian goes slow, but maybe that chemistry, that yearning for each other, that affection, that it's just not there. Then, of course, Whitney has to say something because Whitney and Thomas, they will always interject when it comes to their own storylines. And Thomas, he just goes off the rails. But honestly, at this point, a ladybug could land on his shoulder and he would just throw a fit.
I don't give a fuck about 90% of you here. I mean, you just been on to me. But the fact of the matter is, and vice versa, bitch. I do not care about what you say to me. You're a liar and you're an adulterer.
All right, Thomas, come on.
And I think, you know, at the end of the day, it's conversations that me and Adrian have got to have, but it's also conversations that I'm not going to have here today. Whitney, you are a fraud. Bye-bye, bitch. You are a basic bitch, and that's all you'll ever be. Bye, hell.
That's fucking nice.
I'm glad that at least he walks away. Because the yelling and the screaming and the throwing insults and all that stuff, it's exhausting. We are over it. The tantrum of him walking away is just as annoying, but at least you no longer have to deal with him. Both groups end up playing, it wasn't Truth or Dare, Never Have I Ever. And we learned that both Kwame and Matt have cheated, at least with Matt. He was young. He was 21. Claims it has never happened again. Interesting. He also doesn't classify what happened in this process as cheating, and neither does Whitney, so it's fine. But the question about love comes up, and this is where both groups, the men and the women, are shook by the answers.
Nah, no.
I've said it. Have you said it?
I'm not surprised you guys.
You said it as well, man.
You said it as well?
Have you said it?
I have, yeah.
Wow.
Wow, man, that's
I
a big
100% have, yeah.
I mean, look, when you know, don't you?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lie, isn't it, to say I love you after a week? Is that the timeline?
Falling in love, yeah.
And you are in love?
I've got an overwhelming feeling where I want to take care of you, I want to be with you, I want to spend my time with you, I want to, like, I fucking love you. Do you know what I mean?
Do I believe Matt's in love with Whitney? No. Do I believe Whitney is in love with Matt? Definitely fucking not.
Now, April and George, I feel like their love you conversation came out of desperation to fix their problems. You know, you almost want to like have a grand gesture to cover up the mess that y'all got going on underneath, you know, when like a man is supposed to apologize and instead of just speaking through it, they'll like buy you a gift or take you on a trip. I feel like this is the equivalent of the love you. However, they did clarify it wasn't like being in love with each other. They just love each other's personhood. You know what I mean? You watched the show, it made sense, okay? However, with Whitney and Matt, is this love? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. However, at the very least, they like each other enough to be stringing along the story that they are currently together post the show. So it might not have been love then, and it might still not be love now, but it's something stronger than what a lot of these other couples got going on. Lastly, we have Jenna and Zoe basically talking about, you know, they have strong feelings for each other, but the logistics of life on the outside is what's hindering them from taking that next step. And with Keisha and Kwame loves Keisha as a person. However, Keisha sees herself as single.
I'm not falling in love just yet for Keisha. But man, I really like the girl, the queen that she is.
I'm single right now, so I'm just gonna drink my drink.
You're single?
I don't see myself as in a relationship right now. Well, we haven't spoken yet, but I'm single.
Oh, shit.
Girl, I know that's right. I know that's right. Kick this man to the curb. No warning, no explanation. Be done. Because Kwame, we are done. He has never been vulnerable throughout this experiment. Not for one damn second. And I feel like you have wasted this woman's time. Truly. I think Keisha came in with maybe a little bit too high expectations, but at least she allowed herself to be vulnerable. She allowed herself to be open and see where the journey takes her. Kwame did not give her that same courtesy, so kick him to the curb. Goodbye. That's all I have for you guys today. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.